Okay, here we are with the second part. I've lined up the discontinued crayons here. There's orange red, orange yellow, lemon yellow. Probably should have turned on my lamp. Maize, chartreuse, magic mint, green blue, teal blue, blizzard blue, ultra blue fluorescent, blue gray, violet blue, mulberry, thistle, and raw umber. So I have these from going through old boxes and looking through the big bag of crayons, seeing what crayons I didn't have already or which I learned were going to be discontinued a few years ago. I got it out already. A few years ago they were introducing 4 new colors and would retire 4 colors. There were 5 choices and you had to pick which one stayed. The winner was burnt sienna, which I'm glad because that's a very useful color that I use a lot. I was sad about the others though. They got rid of magic mint, teal blue, thistle, and what was the other one? Teal blue, thistle, magic mint, oh gosh, that's going to bother me all day if I don't think of it. Oh, mulberry was the other one. So they had, if you look here, there are these crayons with white paper and no names, just crayon number 1, crayon number 2. So these are the crayons before they had names. They put them in a little packet about like these. The Office Depot had some packs of crayons. So if you needed these kinds or just liked them, you could get them. A Hallmark where I live used to do that too. They would have bins of loose crayons. So if you needed a certain color, you could get it. That's how I got ultra blue fluorescent. The Cubs where I live, I think it was Cubs, I apologize if it's the wrong store, used to have a promo. Like every now and then Crayola would come with bins of crayons and you'd get a little box and you could fill your box with whatever you wanted. It was I think a pack of 16 or 24. So you could get whatever you wanted from the bins of crayons they had, which was neat. So they had this little pack resting in the box atop the crayons that were there, and you could send in your votes. That's what they do from time to time. From time to time they introduce some new colors and have contests, so it's interesting to have boxes before and after the colors were named. So the winning choices were Wild Blue Yonder, Jazzberry Jam, Inchworm, and Mango Tango. So I thought it was neat when I was in 5th grade and they had 16 new colors and people wrote in. So I usually keep these special kinds and the discontinued crayons. And where's the oh, there we go. And these extra copies of crayons in this little drawer here. I'm going to turn my lamp on. The sun shines a while and then the sun goes behind clouds a while. It's one of those days. I have a few colored pencils here too for detail work or for close-up work. So I have a box here, and we have a number of colored pencils. My mom liked to use those. I like colored pencils, but I always, excuse me, I always hated sharpening them because I never could seem to sharpen them right, and my colored pencils would get small very quickly. Oh, also one thing I mentioned, the discontinued crayons. I secretly think some colors are just discontinued crayons, like they entered the witness protection program and have a new identity. For example, from the retro colors, you have the shag carpet orange, you have the discontinued orange red, and you have, let's see, yes, you have scarlet. So let me see if I like to keep these scraps of paper for coloring, because if you, for instance, if you're coloring and you get to if you're coloring the bottom of the paper, you don't want to color your desk or clipboard, so you color on the paper where if you miss a line, it won't bother anything. So see, you look at those, they look very much the same. So, just a theory I have. I'm not going to act like I've covered some great thing. So, just insert X-Files music here and let's get on with our lives. If that is what they're doing, that's neat that they're bringing the colors back in a way. I was thinking about my collection, and there's, oh wait, this isn't Crayola at all, is it? So never mind. Well, I might as well open it anyway, though, so you can see. There's all sorts of colored paper. This was something I had to get for my color theory class at Sinclair Community College. Just all sorts of colors of paper here. That we use those for our projects. So you have someone, that's a lesson, you move up and you're still using supplies like you did in kindergarten. That's a lesson to these people who get uppity, like, oh, I've moved up. Oh, yeah, you're still the same as other people. So also on the things that aren't Crayolas, occasionally I use these crayons. Not as good as Crayola, but there is one color I really like and I use somewhat often. Their version of Ultra Blue Fluorescent. I just love the way it pops, so I use that for characters who are shooting energy, things like that, generally. Going back to Crayola, we have a bunch of markers around somewhere. And I thought I'd show off these markers that I got from Kroger. See, I have a guide for these too. I'd love to know which colors I'm using. That's why sometimes, let me find the one character here. sometimes I'll leave little notes on the drawings. So this one, there's a little note that I made I colored it with hot magenta so I don't forget which color I used. I've gotten good at telling colors, but I want to be safe. And then, see, this isn't any one color, it's a mixture of vivid violet and outer space to give it this dark, eerie, unnatural, but still colorful look. So it's always good to label things if you're not sure. These are scented markers. There's lemonade stand, tropical punch, watermelon patch, brick oven, breath of fresh air. It's like the sequel to this crayon over there. Buttered popcorn, caramel custard or caramel custard, whichever you prefer. Strawberry fields. I like some of the pop culture references they have for these. Cappuccino. Pepperoni pizza. Root beer float. Toasted marshmallows. Evergreen tree. And key lime fizz. So I think that covers it. I've gone over the specialties and all sorts. So this is, you know, I made that video heckling Crayola for making what I thought the crayon description was a little pandering. So this is to show I really am a fan, and that's one reason I heckle. Not to say I'm a fan of everything I heckle, because I heckle all sorts of stuff. Although I guess a lot of things you heckle, you really do have to have some measure of fondness for. So, you know, people are different. An ad popped up while I was, or a notification popped up while I was doing that. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Crayola, always have been, always will be, but I'm still going to heckle if they do something questionable. So I hope you've enjoyed these videos, and well, that's about it. So okay, have a blessed day, everybody.